So this week was a bit of a hard week. There were good days, but it wasn't one of the best. The other day I had this emotional breakdown. I've had this trigger that happened that caused me to cry because of it. And this was one of those triggers where just something I saw on social media triggered it. It wasn't even anything a family member did, but it is caused by the person that everything that I've gone through has been caused by. I'm a single adult. I'm not dating anybody. I go to a YSA ward for my church, which is for those that are 18 to 30 years old. And those that are in my same boat know that it's hard to find someone to date. And for me, it's really hard just because I've been told, as part of the mental abuse I went through, is that I will never get married because I'm too ugly. No one will want me, and those were the exact same words used to me as a teenager. And of course, at that time, not looking to. When this happened, I wasn't dating, going on dates, or doing anything, and not necessarily of age to get married. But that is something that kind of goes with you for the rest of your life until, in a sense, it's been proven false. And that's where it makes it really, really hard for me, because I've only been on, I counted them the other day, no more than 10 dates since turning 16. Most of those were high school, before I went on a mission dates. I've only went on one date since being home from my mission, and I've been home for 6 years. A little over 6 years. And just, it makes it really, really hard. I mean, I know I'm going to get married at some point. I do know that, but it's hard when you've been told, of course it was an abusive thing, but when you're told that no one's going to want you at such a young age. And I hate it. I hate that I have this memory. I hate the fact that I'm in that position now where I'm not going as much on a lot of dates as I wish I could. I know I'm not the best image-wise, I guess you could say. I don't want to be like skinny like the world says, but I would like to lose at least a little bit, because I know I'm overweight, and it's not so easy to get into that, and no matter what you do, it just doesn't seem like it works. And the other thing too is that I grew up with the sense that, boys are supposed to be the ones to initiate dates. Boys are supposed to do everything, and girls that can do it, I envy them. I wish I could just go up to a boy and say, hey, would you like to go on a date with me? Especially, who I think are cute boys, or cute guys, but it's not so easy for me when I've been raised a certain way. And even looking at it now, I think part of it too is just because I'm afraid of rejection. I've already been rejected in a sense by family members, specifically my biological father. And I think that's why I have a hard time asking guys on dates, not necessarily going on dates, just asking guys on dates, because I'm afraid to ask, to being rejected, and maybe because I also don't want what was told to be true, and that's what's so hard about everything. What's even harder, the whole thing is just harder too when you have family members that ask you every time, are you dating anybody? Does anyone spike your interest? Does anyone tickle you fancy, or whatever the saying is? Does anyone have you been on dates? Are you dating anyone? And it's just like, I hate being asked that because it's already hard enough as it is, and then having family members on top of it asking me these, it causes me anxiety, and it makes me feel like I'm not good enough because I'm not married yet. And it sucks too when they compare me to siblings that go on dates. Like, one of my siblings is really popular right now in school, and they get dates, I swear, every week. I know that's not realistic, but that's what it feels like. And then there's me, and I've only been on at most 10 dates since I turned 16, because I chose to not date anyone, like go on a date or anything, until I was 16. Until I turned 16, because that's not only what my church has put out, but I felt like it was just a better choice, because at that point, 16-year-olds, they are still not fully mature in the brain, but they understand things though too about dating and stuff. And luckily today at church, I got that reassurance that everything was going to be okay. But the day that this happened, I had the hardest time, because I want to be married, I want to be dating someone, I'm at this point in my life that even though I'm going to counseling and finding ways to help with everything I went through, I'm wanting someone that, and this may be selfish, but I just want someone to accept me and support me, love me for who I am, not wanting to change anything about me, but be supportive if I want to change something about me, and not be pressured by them. Or I just want you could say I'm tired of fighting alone, of my battles, and I don't expect him to fight what happened in the past, because he wasn't there, and I don't expect him to try to do that when he doesn't know what was going on. And it's one thing to be told it versus experience it. But my family's not going anywhere. The situation's not going anywhere. And I just want someone to be there to support me and to even just help me, and even just someone to love me and be my support and part of my I guess you could say army that helps me keep going. It just goes with the whole mental health thing. It's like I don't expect him to fight everything, but just be that listening ear and support when I need it. But I would do the same thing for him if he needed it. I would be there for him. I would help him where he needs help and just love him for who he is. And that's all I want. And that's all I could ask for. And that's where it makes it really, really hard. And I just wish that I had family members that would just understand that. And for my mental health's sake and for my circumstance, I just wish they would be a little more understanding. That's when I can turn to them. But sadly, I can only do it through video, and even then, none of them really watch these, which is fine, but so if you have someone in your life that is going through a hard time relationship with their single life, the only advice I can give is just to be supportive, but don't ask those questions, because we hate it. We hate those questions. Even those that don't have mental health problems, we hate those questions because we don't know what's going to happen. There's only so much we can do, but it works two ways. It takes two people to make things work, and we can't expect a miracle immediately as soon as you ask the question. So that's my only advice, is don't ask about our dating life, because that really annoys us. But for those of us that go through mental problems or mental health problems, just be there, supportive. Don't ask those questions, but just try to understand that we are doing the best that we can, but we have so much that we gotta tame down, is the best way to put it, in order for us to be able to find someone that can support us. Because like I've said before, mental health, it's not going to go away, especially if you went through something all your life, and if it's going to continue on, it's not going to go away. So we just need somebody to just listen and support us. That's all I could think about talking about today, was that experience. But I hope if you find this message, that if you're going through this, just know you're not alone. And I hope that you can find the light of hope in your room of darkness. Because we may live in a world of darkness, or a room of darkness, but there is always a light of hope. And sometimes that's just knowing someone else is going through the same thing. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to say for this week. Until next time.